Okay, finally everyone on the internet who's been asking so many questions, I still have a cock lah.
Should trans people be excluded from competing in sports? This is your daily Ketchup. Woo! Hello everybody.
Hello.
So today we have a special guest with us, Kimberly, and she's welcome. Okay, do you want to introduce yourself first before we go
but
further?
you already introduced me.
No, but who are you?
That's a tough
Actually,
question.
that's a question I've been pondering for a very long time.
Who are we really? Like right?
Creepy.
Okay, so based
Yeah,
on
I'm just Kelly. I've acted in that A Girls Go Army movie. There's going to be part 2, which is coming out like next month.
Soft plug.
Good
It's
film.
like a martial artist on the internet.
you can do a drop kick, by the way. Can you believe that?
Drop kick is the easiest. The
Demo.
one you jump in.
I feel like you just need to dare to do a drop kick.
No, use your 2 leg to.
It's just jumping with your legs forward,
You
right?
need to dare how to do it and do a break fall, so you don't break it.
Yeah, so that I
You
can
fall.
Even the word break fall sounds horrible.
Break fall is just like to shave off the impact when you land. Yeah.
So basically, she's a breakout star after Jack New's A Girls Go Army
What's
film,
breakout?
and she also
Okay,
First
now I know what it
appearance,
means.
booms.
and she's also a martial artist that's trained in Muay Thai, Krav Maga, Judo, and has over 300,000
And karate.
followers on
Don't mess lah, basically.
on
Don't mess
TikTok.
with her.
Yeah. And so she's actually here today because we are talking about a case that recently came out, right? About a transgender swimmer, male to female, that has won the NCAA swimming championship. So the NCAA is actually the top college swimming championship in the US.
Usually they usually get scholarships or like
Leah
they
Thomas.
they usually
so-
get scouted for like main teams after that lah. Yeah.
The swimmer's name is Leah Thomas, and there's actually quite a fierce debate, right? Because she was ranked considerably poorly when she was competing as a man in
Yeah.
the male
category.
category. But then when she's
This feels like a tiptoe episode.
Walking on eggshells, yeah.
everything that we're saying here is our personal views, okay? And we're also learning just to disclaim.
Don't cancel us. This is just our own opinions, and
Yeah. We're engaging with the topic, which is a very good first step.
yeah, we just spitballing ideas out.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So basically, there's quite a bit of condemnation because her rankings jumped largely.
Substantially.
When she started competing
And
as
she
a
even
woman.
won, recently, and she even won lah. And there was also like Olympians that came out to kind of say that. I mean, okay, there's one Olympian that came out to say that it's simply not fair for a biologically born man to be competing in a woman's category.
It is not fair.
It wasn't just a win, right?
It's-
It was like
it is not
crazy one, right?
She swept everything, is it?
No,
Like
not
she
Wreck
jumped-
them. She just wrecked the other girls.
I heard like like she beat the world record, everything, right?
Right.
It was. I'm not sure whether it was a world record, but it was a season best.
I mean, impressive still.
But when she was
But not
competing
fair.
with like in the male category, then it was like she was like a few hundred rank one, right? Like her position
Yes.
jumped.
Hey, was she any
Yeah.
good in the male?
Okay, so I have the
category.
stats here, right? In the 200-yard freestyle, which actually when I convert is very weird. It's like 100 point something. But
Which
yeah,
way the way we are, I guess.
200 yards, she was ranked 554th, and now
Damn.
she's 5th. In the 500 yards, she was 65th, and now she's 1st.
Oh.
And in the 1,650-yard freestyle, she was 32nd, and now she's 8th. So it's quite a big jump.
significant improvement, right?
Yes, which is like one of the bigger criticisms lah.
Can you recap for me transgender and transsexual again?
Okay, so based on my research, gender is basically like what you identify as. So like in your mind, like what are you, right? And then biological sex refers to your chromosomes.
Right.
So like your on
Your
your
genitals, actually.
Yeah, your
pretty much.
genitals. And
Something
then-
that everyone on TikTok is so obsessed about.
Your
Thumbs up.
genitals.
which we will also ask. Yeah, and
Wait,
then
genitals in general or your genitals?
I think in general.
Oh, but her account is okay lah.
That's why I left TikTok.
Right.
You left TikTok?
Yeah, you don't
her
know?
first
Oh, I'm
video
so
on
sorry.
her page is goodbye.
Yeah, it's goodbye
Oh.
TikTok.
Okay, then the last one, which is sexual orientation, is basically what makes you horny, like who you're attracted to.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So gender is identification.
You're getting dragged into like weird things.
Yeah, so gender is what you identify as. And so
Actually, gender is like who you want to go to bed as. Then sex is
No, who you want to go to bed as or with?
who you want to go to bed as. Then that like sexual orientation is who you want to go to bed with.
Nice.
And then
Right.
sex is like what you're going to bed with. What you are bringing into the play space. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's a good cheat sheet.
So based on the internet, right, transsexual is someone who physically transitions.
Right.
So if I go through gender reassignment, and then transgender is my identification. But actually now in general, they just use the term transgender.
So what if you haven't fully transitioned yet, but maybe you're taking like hormone pills?
I think
If
that's transgender.
You are transitioning.
Then
Okay.
then I'll be considered just transgender lah.
Right. Okay.
Because I mean, okay, finally everyone on the internet who's been asking so many questions, I still have a cock lah.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, wait, let me ask. Yeah, I'm gonna ask that. Do you have
I just answer. Wow.
Okay, so you are a transgender, right?
Yeah.
Hold up, this is a public service announcement. To support us, like, share, and subscribe.
And click the bell notification button.
That's right. That's right.
son.
Thank you for listening to this announcement.
Oh yeah, people don't use the word transsexual nowadays. To my
Right.
knowledge, don't cancel me. Generalize just a trans. Trans. Just,
Oh, yeah.
For the second
No, I
half.
think mostly it's because people don't really know.
It's the safest thing to do.
I think
yeah.
it's the
To
safest
say,
thing
to
to
say
do.
trans. Oh, okay.
It's all trans. Oh, okay. Yeah.
We actually had like a good 15-minute debate when we were planning the episode,
serious ah?
like trying to understand what transgender actually means.
I feel like I can explain it simply, but it might only apply for me, and then like confirm someone on the internet will confirm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get
Wow,
it.
you very PTSD by
I
internet rich, huh?
really, you know,
Okay,
like,
guys.
wow.
So Kelly is only representing her own views, not on behalf of
Yeah.
any
If
community.
anytime you feel offended by this conversation, then you just click the
that
X
I'm
button.
real sorry, and yeah, I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for just me as an individual.
Yeah, and if you're not happy, attack Dennis.
Or Kelvin. Who's Kelvin?
It's just someone that we made up. It's actually me.
Or just like I born in the wrong body lah. Then I just like come out a boy, but then like I just didn't feel like I was very boy lah. Then I just become
Yeah.
girl lah. Then done lah, like done deal.
What was that process like for you? Let's dig into this a little bit.
Like when did you realize that?
Dig.
Okay, the thing is, it was the other way around. It's like I never realized that I was a boy. When
Okay.
I was young, yeah.
Oh.
I just like live life like hi, like that, and then
Now girls are offended by that. Just kidding.
Oh yeah,
I'm kidding.
How in the head, guys? No, so I was just like I like girly stuff, or like my mom just generally thought like actually you are very girly, Then I'm like,
This is at what age?
this like I forgot lah, single
Because
digit.
as
As long
you
as
were-
you can remember.
as
lah.
you
Yeah,
were
as long as I
raised
can
as
remember.
a
I'm bad with numbers, I guess.
boy, then your parents kind of have to teach you the ways of being
Like-
a boy, right?
Really, yeah.
Kind of. I mean, they
yeah.
nudge you with the toys that you get, with the clothes that you get, with
But I
the
play both.
boys don't cry.
Power Ranger, then young at that I cry so many times. Yeah, I
Same,
cry a
same.
lot. I cry baby, you know.
Why? About what?
About everything spaghetti drop on the floor, I cry.
It's a very specific
No,
memory.
it could be because your parents damn fierce, right?
No, I just very sad. I cannot eat the spaghetti and the hot dog. What that?
Specifically Jollibee.
I have one older brother.
One older brother, okay, okay. How then the way they raise you all would be kind of like similar. So so your question is like whether it has to do with any upbringing.
Oh
right?
no,
Oh,
it's
no,
nothing
I
to do
just
with upbringing.
asking about.
Oh yeah, no,
Her
I just
childhood.
never really thought about it. Then my mom like, hey, you're actually very girly for a boy. And I'm like, I'm boy man. Then after that, like,
Oh,
yeah lah.
What is boy?
Yeah lah, what is boy?
So
All these,
actually, in that sense, your parents were very supportive of this.
not really, because
okay,
like
sorry.
they thought, just a face lah, you know.
Right.
Then I grew in my teenagehood, I started wearing makeup, everything. Then my mom was like, oh yeah, my mom's dead, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
I had
sorry to
nothing
hear.
to do with it.
Yo, why would you say that?
I never say anything.
2 bombs at once.
Dark humor a bit, you know. No lah, like yeah, she passed from cancer when I was like 17. Then like, yeah, but before that she was like saying, it was quite heartbreaking because like when she was like dying stage 4 already, like everything. Then she was like, can you just be a boy for me? Like she actually told me that. Then she like threw like $50, $100 at me, right? And said like, can you just go and buy like guy clothes and like, you know, like be a
Right.
guy. Then I just used that money to buy like a denim jacket and jeans just to look like. Just look the part, make her happy because she's
Of
gonna
course.
die, right? Then after that, I still don't know where the jeans and denim jacket go.
Right. So you're not close lah.
Huh?
You're not that close.
I was quite close to my mom. It's just she couldn't accept this one thing about me.
right.
So was it something that she kind of like glossed over or like pretended that part didn't?
Okay, I know this is gonna sound damn dark lah, but like when you have stage 4 cancer in the lungs that spread to your brain, right? I don't think you can really like
Right.
gloss over anything.
Okay, so today's episode is brought to you by Clumsy Plumsy.
Clumsy.
It is a sour plum vodka drink that is actually Singapore made one. Okay? If you all have been to the clubs, you all might have tasted this before, something similar. You know
I see that you have very tasted this.
It's
already.
actually available at several bars and like online stores around Singapore. They deliver island-wide. So you stay where? Okay, Ken. Okay, and it's also honestly a great drink for all occasions. Because it's like quite a chill drink. It's not like those like no need to like go hard. But then if you want to party, but then you want something tasty also, right? Not bad. Then you can mix with like a bunch of stuff also.
And you can also serve chilled.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And what's the best part is that we have a promo code. So look at my hands, 10 fingers, 10% off by quoting TDK10.
Here.
Yes. And
No
then
minimum. You can
no
buy.
minimum spend.
Can buy half bottle. Okay, no, kidding.
If you share with your friend, you can buy half.
You confirm won't buy one half bottle. And this one I own self finish. Okay, so check out the website. Discount code here. And yeah.
Back to the
Clumsy
episode.
Plumsy.
But earlier on, then, like when
very
you started
clearly.
wearing makeup and all that.
This one might be quite painful for a lot of people to hear because maybe they can relate lah. But like she said, like, if you paint your nails, I won't hold your hair in public.
Oh shit.
Also, she was actually very vocal
Very
about
against it, yeah.
not being supportive lah.
Yeah,
It feels like the mum is supportive as a mum, just not of
just
this
not
decision.
of this. Yeah, because
okay,
she was a
yeah.
very good mother actually.
Right.
Yeah, she one woman show.
Damn.
I didn't have a dad. Yeah, so she
Yeah. She
sweet
carry
chai butterfly. She carry. Yeah.
Wait, did she ever think that it might be because you didn't grow up with a father that you identify as such?
Okay, you think about it, right? A lot of men, they grow up without fathers.
Yeah.
And they're not trans or
Yeah.
right.
Or like rather like did she blame it on anything?
Yeah.
No she just said like it's just not okay like she just never really like think so much actually.
Did at any point did you feel like, oh, is my mom right and actually I'm wrong and like maybe I should try like at any point like because I would imagine if your mom is so unsupportive of this part of you, like you would question yourself like.
To some degree I did, and then when I was like 17, right, after like she passed, right, I had this like a bit overcompensatingly macho face.
Okay.
Right.
It's so dumb. Like had the whole Elvis Presley
Right.
thing going on with the shades and the leather jacket.
That is quite Elvis
fake
Presley.
leather lah,
Yeah.
fake leather lah, Then like I Google like how to be a swaggy boy. I really go and Google how to be a swaggy boy.
Then also got Google this before.
Yeah, this kind of nonsense, right? Then you wear the jeans, the tight jeans and the studded belt. Then
Yeah.
you wear glove all with leather jacket. Then like rockstar all.
Yeah.
Really, that is
But sweat like
swaggy.
dog. That's sweaty, How to be a sweaty boy?
That's how you become a sweaty boy without going to the gym.
No,
forgot
but
it.
okay, so like, but then besides like the family, right? Then like externally, like in school and all this kind of stuff, like
In school,
other
I was
people.
the quiet kid, yeah.
right.
Like in primary, secondary school, quiet kids, yeah. Kena whack, kena bully, yeah. Kena hammer.
Because of what? Like because of
Okay,
how
this
you-
one, right, I'm not going to be one of those people that say like, marginalized, I'm trans. No, it could be because, right, maybe I got a bit of a mouth. Maybe I'm a bit of an asshole sometimes.
But you said
Right.
you were quite a kid.
I was a quiet kid lah, but if somebody throws a table at me, I'm going to throw a table back and say, like,
Yeah, like the Asian girl in Pitch Perfect.
I
The one that
don't watch
utters under her
Pitch
breath.
Perfect,
One.
Oh, the one with the bangs.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill your family.
But were you? But in like were you? Because like you were saying like you identify as a girl, right? So then in school.
oh, but we didn't have terms for that when we were really young, Like we didn't really
Right.
like get it.
It was like aqua line in that sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct. Like they would just be like, yeah, you're a bit aqua, aqua.
But they didn't feel offended by it. They're like,
They're
eh?
just like, you are. Like, like secondary school is like that one.
yeah.
Like, you aqua, I don't know hair. It's this kind of thing.
Oh,
Like,
throwbacks lah, that one.
we are young, then we don't think
How
so
old are
much.
you?
How old am I now?
Yeah.
28.
You live in the east, right?
No. I live in
Oh, shit!
Yeah,
Your
right?
mother no hair is from where?
it's just it's a
Golo ah, your mother
1994 thing.
Your mother really your
Your mother cut slow.
Oh, no, that's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not insulting the father.
Your mother cut slow.
It's worse than your mother cut botak, Cut slow, cutting slow is worse.
So Leah Thomas.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay, back to topic.
what do you think? Do you think it's unfair?
No, like
Yeah.
was she
Scary.
already going through like the transition?
Okay,
was she
so
already
what is
identifying?
actually there are actually rules surrounding whether transgender athletes can compete, and basically you need to have gone through hormonal therapy for 3 years before you can. But they actually allowed her to compete before that, so it was I think
Right.
2.5 years. If I'm not sure how many months, but it's 2 years plus.
They being the governing body of NCAA lah.
Yes.
Okay, wait, can I say something? Since that is the rules, right? Then yeah, it's wrong of her to do that because
But she was allowed to do it though.
yeah, but she did it before 3 years of hormone therapy, right? That's the same thing as I want to go and fight like lightweight. Like Muay Thai, okay?
Right.
And then me currently being like 69 kg, right? But then if I go lightweight, I have to be, I don't know, like 60 kg or 50 something, right? And then I just like go there as a 60, maybe 65 kg person and beat the shit out of this person. That's not okay, what?
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, it's nothing to do with the transgenderism, it's just more of like this person just...
But what are
Bypass
your
the rules, ah.
what are your thoughts on that matter? Like in general, because this kind of debates happen a lot on the internet, right? Do you feel like on one hand it kind of feels unfair, like you articulated just now?
I don't think it's fair. It's
Whether
like,
or not this 3 years thing is it feels kind of unfair.
still unfair.
Yeah, either way.
I mean, I've been on hormone therapy for like
She
9
can barely
years.
come-
9 years. Yeah, 9 years actually.
Oh, you're on hormone therapy for
Yeah, for like 9 years already, right? Even because of that, even due to that, right? If you make me like, let's say, fight a biological girl
Right.
of my same stature, it's like there's a very high chance I'm just gonna win lah because
Yeah.
of what bone density. This kind of thing cannot be changed.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe like the muscle density also.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things. Yeah.
What are the main changes that you see when you go through hormone therapy?
Have you seen what I look like as a dude?
I have not
Okay,
actually.
Google me.
Well, I will not be able to say that.
Well, I think the one when you search up is a bit more of a J Chow look. Yeah. it's
Okay, we'll put it on screen for
And
us.
a lot
that's also
bigger
you?
as well,
The other
yeah.
one is also you?
Yeah, this is the
that one is
before
me,
and after.
yeah.
Oh, because you
In
don't
my
really look
Xiao
like that
Lian
also,
days.
Wait, so what changed? Like,
You see that? You know what?
right? Hold on, no, you describe your
see your
experience.
face.
Describe your experience.
Oh, is it the experience?
Yeah.
It just felt like going through puberty again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about
No,
it.
but there was something that you want out of it, right?
Yeah, I wanted
Which-
to like last time my arms is like guns, you know, like
Right.
like the
You still
Now-
pretty
now
ripped
it's
lah, to be honest.
no now like so skinny.
Hey, don't embarrass yourself. Sit down,
It's
son.
bigger than mine, what?
Hey guys, this episode is about you, right?
did your voice change significantly?
I can change my voice. Do you want me to do it live?
Yes.
Voice?
Okay, so I
No,
can sound like
This
this.
sounds fake.
Yeah, it sounds like
No. This is actually like how I used to talk when I was like 17.
Okay.
Actually, and no, it sounds fake because like like my face
used to
doesn't match that.
No. It feels
And-
forced.
Then does this not feel fast?
No, actually.
Okay,
No, so
great.
it's conscious, man. Like
Huh?
the way.
No, I just have a very wide vocal range.
No, but are you conscious of trying to
was okay.
make a more girly voice?
I don't know. I feel that like over time it's like forming habits.
Right.
So it's like
It's like how
last-
people in Korea or Japan just speaks.
They
that
speak
way
like that,
lah,
yeah,
right?
because it's like it's the conditioning and everything. Like when I was young, right, and I was a dude, right, then like I know that this is how dudes supposed to speak, what, right? So
Yeah.
Then I just thought like that lah. Like
Yeah.
does
I mean,
this
it's
sound
funny
fake?
when you drop the occasional a very manly tone.
no, but then like I think because
When you
I
go to drag shows.
start using this more, then like it became more natural to me, But like last time when I was a teenager, I used to talk like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But what are the side effects of it?
Oh, but this one is not hormone related. This is
Oh, it's
like,
not?
I just have a wide vocal range.
Right.
You know, like a lot of like trans people, they still struggle with the voice issue.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but other things like softening of facial features a bit.
Also, that happens.
Adulthood.
Yeah,
Wow.
softening of facial features. I small tits lah, but like I'm sure other trans women, you know, they'll get bigger tits. I just
Right.
Yeah.
genetics lah. Okay, yeah, plays a huge part
So do you have to be on this treatment like
for life lah. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm just taking it every day. Yeah.
It's an injection.
No, it's a pill.
Wow, I feel like if injection, right, a lot of people will just drop the journey.
Wow, why?
But I've seen like quite a few having
It cannot. That's a TikTok thing. Don't do it.
Oh,
yeah. TikTok. okay. Sorry, I just need to get it out of my system.
Wait, why do you quit? What happened?
I feel the community damn toxic like damn cringe.
No, everywhere toxic
No. TikTok is a special level of toxic.
Okay, so
That-
what cut you?
Okay, the app itself, right, encourages like it shortens the attention span of people because like videos are like, you know, the ones that make it on the FYP are shorter, and then, you know, it gives them that dopamine hit faster, then they just scroll to the next one. It's just like mindless scrolling.
How does this affect you?
I just didn't want to be part of something like that.
Right.
And like a lot of things is like, you know, to get popular there, you have to like follow trends. You originality is like punished, but like copycat.
No, but that's not the real answer I'm looking for.
No, that is really the real answer
Because
actually.
you can continue to do your long form videos and just nobody care. Then at the same time you just post on Instagram, and why
then
you
there
leave
wouldn't be a
TikTok?
point of that, right? And it's just like being on TikTok. There are multiple reasons. Yes, also I know you want me to say that, yeah, because they all are fucking toxic, right?
No. I'm trying to figure out what's the toxicity.
Okay, so it's a multifaceted thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it is that, and then like also like generally the people there quite toxic, quite brainless comments.
Oh, so you're talking
Right.
about two aspects lah. One is the people
Multiple
there,
aspect.
and
The
then
other is the
the
platform.
other is the
itself.
platform that celebrates
Yeah,
like,
that
stupidity and
celebrates this kind of like follow trend or originality. It's like, you know, we don't care about originality. Oh yeah, just follow everyone like cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Right.
We were talking about the TikTok conspiracy, right?
Dude, I felt like conspiracy theories when I said I want to leave TikTok.
Okay.
I thought it was crazy, you know. Oh my god, I've been watching videos saying like how TikTok is doing this to the youth, like exacerbating ADHD symptoms.
Yeah, no.
Depression, all
There's
this.
this conspiracy about how China is using it to defeat other countries over generations.
Yes, I know, by giving them the information to vote for who, right?
Or making the population a little bit
They're
more
trying
dumber.
to, so
Yeah.
they celebrate and they push trends and make the stuff viral. It's all stupid stuff in US
Yeah.
or wherever
Yeah.
else lah. Yeah,
TikTok in China is all the smart stuff, man. No one.
maybe they
Yeah,
don't
but TikTok
celebrate the
China
stupid
legit
shit
funny
lah.
one. Really like laugh out loud one.
Because somebody ever told me, Kelly, you want to quit TikTok, then download Douyin ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already like, my conspiracy theorist brain already thinking already, you know, like.
But at least you hyper aware.
Jokes aside, like ever since I started using TikTok, right, I feel that I cannot focus. Like I don't have ADHD, but I start having symptoms like that. Like I'm like,
Basically, I just got short attention span lah.
yeah, that's why. I just felt it was like overall not good for my mental health lah.
But there was nothing personal that.
Nothing personal.
Fuck.
Like I'm very used to people doxing me. I'm very used to people giving me death threats. Like
Death threats?
you all don't get that, man. Someone
not
saying that they
really.
want to,
Yeah,
like,
I think death threats quite-
yeah,
they
they're
want
not
to kill
famous
you,
enough.
this kind of thing.
like what's the worst thing that people have said to you?
wow, all kind of thing. They want to rip out my fingernails.
No, what are they offended by?
I don't know. Like I'm just some idiot on the internet that is like sharing like, oh, I love martial arts. Like this how you do a spinning hook kick, and then like somebody will be like you, I'll break your leg, I'll take you to the ground, I'll crack your leg, I'll snap your neck, I'll gouge out your eyeballs, I'll take the thing and rip out your fingernails. Then I'm like, what I do, sia?
Yeah.
You know, nonsense, eh.
So I think like the reason why I kind of asked about hormone therapy is also like I'm wondering whether it actually changes your amount of physical strength, which as just now you mentioned it.
Does
It
to some
does.
degree,
It's
yeah.
such a scary process, right? It's like entropy, what do they call that word?
Entropy.
A bit, but it's
Yeah.
not like you become super weak. Like if you've seen videos of me doing very crazy stunts, like I'm still pretty decently strong lah.
But so if that's true, right, then why can't a guy who transitioned into a girl be allowed to compete in the women's category?
Bone
Because there are
density,
certain things that cannot be changed, like bone density. Like definitely, I am still definitely stronger than a biological girl my size.
Then where should they go then? Should they stay in the men's category?
It's a bit difficult to answer this question. I also don't have an answer.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the problem. So I think in the spirit of the Olympics is to be inclusive. Yeah. However, in order to be fair, it no longer is able to be that inclusive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But one thing is sports is never fair also.
Oof.
It's true, it's not fair. If let's say let's say I'm now 69 kg, I cut to 65 kg to fight someone who is generally around that range normally. Because like from like 69 to drop that far, like, and I was 75 before this.
Oh.
It's like if I drop that far, right? Because I'm fighting next year, yeah. But to reach that, right, I'm still gonna retain my height, and the other person's gonna be like short. You know, like 65 kg people are generally not that tall. then I'll still have this long range advantage, right? And then how is that fair? So
Right.
That's scary, sir.
it's not fair,
Long range
right? Yeah.
advantage.
So like sports is not a fair thing.
No lah, but the 65
basketball,
guy
it's
can
like
cut and fight the
basketball.
45 guy.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
I cut until I 45 kg, the 45
fight
guy
the primary
die
six
already,
dude.
sia. He mampus eh.
hold his
Kicking
head,
one
then
time he fly to Shangri-La, bro. Hey, that guy is done, you know. Finish, you know.
But there has to be some form of like structure to make it somewhat fair lah. Because if you don't have any weight class, then you can have a 100 kg fella fighting a 27 kg fella.
And that's not a fair fight either, you know.
So
So I feel that it's like they're trying to make it as fair as it can be.
Right.
Yeah, by like using gender as the segregation. Society knows men to be physically more strong than women, and it's a fact. Like yeah, like I'm definitely not going to be as after hormone therapy, you know, I might be stronger than a biological female that is my height, but I will be definitely a lot weaker than a biological man my
Yeah.
height. Yeah.
So if we flip the equation and we say that if a woman is transitioning to be a man, she wants to compete in the man category, would we consider that as fair?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Ooh, that no, then it will be other way around.
It'll be
People
unfair
will
for
not
her.
be writing articles saying this is unfair. They will be writing articles saying, "Wow, this he is a damn strong mother." You know, they will say.
No, but
Other way
the
around.
whole problem with sports to begin with is that it is gender bias, right?
it has
do you
to be,
watch
right?
female basketball? No, what? Why do we create female basketball?
You watch men's beach
because if
volleyball?
they were to compete in a mixed one,
Give them a
they-
chance to win
yeah.
lah.
Yeah.
So the whole point of it is that it's already not fair. It's
Sports
disadvantageous
is
to
not fair.
females. Very hard to debate this.
Sadly.
Very hard.
It's a topic I think like if the more we debate, right, the more likely we gonna cancel.
No, so at the end of the day, right, like the thing is that if we become a more inclusive society, there's a lot more war, right? More people are going to start competing, and there are going to be people who are transgender that are going to
Want to
be out
compete in the
and they
sport,
want to
right?
compete. So then, how do we be inclusive while being fair? Because more instances like this are going to happen.
Okay, like one thing that I know, right, is that there will never really be a transgender division.
Okay.
Yeah, because like, you know, sports is something that not a lot of people already do. So like within that, how many of them would be transgender? So it's not enough transgender athletes to form a transgender division.
Yeah,
You can't have a division with 5 people in it, you know? Like,
Actually, can't say never lah. To be very honest, it just
Hard,
takes
it's
one
hard.
of the transgender champions to be rich, lor.
Wait, but like that, the Paralympics is also like that, what? People with varying
but there are more
levels
people
of...
with like that
Yeah.
kind of disabilities than transgender.
Yeah, which brings
People
us back
who
to the
want
ping pong
to
one, right?
compete.
No, but as in, but they don't separate by your disability. You know what I mean?
But is it a
That's
question
true.
of time? Is it because there are a lot of people who are transgender who at that young age didn't develop sooner to become a sports person because they were already questioning themselves?
I
and
think
then
you can start sports at any age, ma.
No, so since you do martial arts, right?
Yeah.
Then
But I'm not a competitive fighter.
but
Yeah.
you watch sports, right? So
Yeah,
you know
I
that-
watch MMA.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So you
about
know
it.
that MMA when it first started out, right? There are fight cards and championships. There is no rules one. You can be a
Oh, that was
giant.
Vale Tudo. That was Vale Tudo days.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
groin shots were allowed. Eye gouge.
Anything you can wear whatever you want. You can use whatever you want. You fight with whoever you want, right?
Vale
No
Tudo,
rules.
yeah.
That versus the more and more regulated
MMA now.
UFC, right? Like, which is better? You know, which is better? Which is more entertaining?
Okay, from the viewer point of view, right? Like, cause I want to watch Vale Tudo lah. Like, it's basically legal street fighting in a cage. But
Just no death, law. Just the
No,
referee there to
you
stop
might
you from
die,
dying.
what? Like,
Yeah lah, but the
MMA you can
ref and
die
everything is
also,
there to
what?
just stop you from killing the other person.
Yeah, like that's pretty much yeah. It's of course more entertaining, but if you have to think about the athletes also, right? Like Vale Tudo is pretty fucking dangerous. You could die. You could lose an eyeball. Maybe you don't die, you lose an eyeball. That's worse.
The point that I'm trying to say is that you can mix everybody up, no rules, then you all fight off.
Like Tekken.
No, so even like gender
Yeah,
also.
Tekken.
Yeah, exactly,
Ah.
Tekken. So no gender, you can be monster. Shut up. You can be whatever.
Sponsor.
But is that better? Will that eventually be better? So we don't
I feel that's more entertaining, but for like the safety of like the athletes, it's
There'll be a step back in humanity.
I think you're gonna exclude a lot of
Right.
people. So because you look at someone like Floyd Mayweather, for example, small fella. You look at like Conor McGregor, so small fella. If he's gonna compete with like a Mark Henry, who is like biggest person alive, right? Like they would never even think of joining the sport because they don't have a chance, and then you lose out on this.
unless the big guy is significantly less like skilled or like like experienced.
But is that not the NBA?
NBA?
But they can like join other sports, man.
Yeah lah, lah. Then you don't join, you're excluded already lah from basketball.
No, but you
No,
know,
but now
example
you can
like
do
Steph
3-point
Curry, for
shots.
example. Steph Curry is not as tall as like Yao Ming, but he's still a very successful basketballer.
But he's
Sports is generally unfair. Not everyone can do sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that. Like if you are not good at a sport, you also cannot do the sport, right? Then if you just don't meet the criteria, sadly you just cannot lah. I mean, maybe also that's why I also cannot really like be competitive. Like maybe I'm going for one competitive fight if it works out, if everything works out.
But it's not a national team thing lah, right?
No, it's just like small things like
Right.
gym versus gym.
It's
kind
an
of nonsense,
exhibition,
lah. Yeah,
yeah.
that kind of shit lah.
Right.
Like, yeah, I rather use it for like entertainment lah than you know competitive fighting.
In the
But
fight, she'll be fighting a dude.
I would not fight a biological.
You know who you're
woman.
fighting already?
Not yet. It's not even settled yet. My coach say you finish all your stuff, then you.
Right.
It's strange because you're an athlete, right?
Like, would you consider me an athlete? Like, what's?
I mean, you are training for a
Competitive fight.
competitive fight.
I'm generally training because I
and
just
you're also
love martial
taking
arts.
pills that you know will make yourself weaker
like the
while going
opposite
to
of
the
drugs.
gym trying to make yourself stronger. Strange.
But out of
So
that,
much-
what do you get? You get beauty.
No, but is it?
Why would you take a pill to make yourself weaker? Like you, of course,
In a sense,
that's a
right,
side
right,
effect.
that's the first answer. Like, why when you take the pill, it's like, oh, cause this used to be guns and you want to be more look more feminine.
But I
now.
want to you know look like.
No, but I'm very curious now. Like, who will take up the fight against you? Because
That's
there
another
is
problem.
it's a lose-lose situation.
That's
Like
another
they
problem.
either look as though they're beating up a girl, or if they lose to you, then it's like they.
I mean, who says
if
you're
you
gonna
lose-
be beating me up?
Yeah. But it's,
If you lose, you should just cry.
No, if I lose, right?
How can you say that?
No, if I lose, not so bad. You know, like okay.
Yeah, you should
lost
just
to
cry,
someone
make it
strong, but
terrible.
If they lose,
yeah, exactly.
that's why
They have really little to
Yeah, and they may not be even comfortable, like, you know, even clinching up with like a transgender person. That's why I also don't know. This is a maybe thing. Hopefully it can work
Oh,
out.
that's the thing.
I just
to
want
think
the
about.
experience.
But to your question from a while back, right, that you mentioned, like, what if it was a girl transgender, a guy, and they want to compete in the men's
Yeah.
category? I wonder if, as long as the status quo is not disrupted, people will not have an issue about it. So in this case, right, because she jumped so many things, and then she like kind of like toppled like those people who were naturally dominating that
Yeah.
space, right? Versus the other way around, if not much is changing, then people will not make noise about it.
No,
lor.
but actually you think about it, right? Okay, like this is an example for like MMA, right? You've heard of the transgender MMA fighters, right?
Damn.
Yeah, that one, Elena McLaughlin, she fought a woman fighter, right? Just for women's MMA, right? Very hard for her to fight fighter already. So any fighter that any opponent they get, right, they'll confirm say okay.
Yeah.
So the transgender fighter is getting shit for beating up a biological girl, right? Is the biological girl getting shit for fighting the transgender fighter? No, what? She isn't.
Okay, so if I can read out a tweet that kind of summarizes this, right, is this person commented, Alana McLaughlin, sorry, hard to say, transitioned 5 years ago, which means that she lived 33 years of her life as a man. And tonight, McLaughlin fought and beat a biological woman. What a shock. This is nonsense.
I think right now, like I think we're all pretty much aligned that this, like Leah Thomas, for example, was an unfair example, and Alana's a pretty unfair
A
example.
bit,
but
yeah.
where's the debate? Like, what are the other side saying?
I think
Because I'm trying to
ultimately,
see, because
okay,
I can't see it.
if
at the
you are
moment.
biologically a woman and you are biologically a man, right? I feel that if you are biologically a man, right, you always get shit if you're competing against like a
yeah.
biological woman.
Yeah.
And if you're a biological woman, you will definitely get less shit lah for competing against a biological
So-
man. In fact, you get praised.
But like what I'm trying to understand it is that is it about just acceptance? Are people just saying we need to accept what people want to identify as and we should let them do whatever they're doing?
Yeah, I think it comes with the entire conversation about the whole woke movement and
Yeah.
inclusivity, right? They don't come in the like many of these people that's fighting the counter argument here are not athletes themselves.
Yeah.
They are
Yes.
trying to, and in their own right, create mass acceptance of the LGBTQ community and access to every opportunity that straight people would have. Or
But how many of them
cisgender.
actually really want to compete?
Yeah.
Like, is it, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, like when I watch, you know, what's that thing that we like the Jordan Petersons and the other one?
Ben Shapiro.
Controversial.
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, yeah.
It always comes from the point of people just it's just fighting for women's rights in general or LGBTQ rights in general, but not so much. None of them specialize in sporting stuff.
Some transgender people, right, are like they start transitioning when they're really young. Then they just look totally like extremely hyper feminine, and they legitimately couldn't hurt a fly kind of thing.
Right.
That kind of level, like even more feminine than like most biological women. Then there are some transgender people who like transition later in life, and then they still kind of look like a bit more masculine. So like, I don't know how to say. If someone like maybe Blair White, if she herself went to compete in women's, right, there wouldn't be so much of an uproar because she's like physically like similar to them. You know what I mean?
So you're saying if they transition earlier at a younger stage and most of their lived experience was
Could
as
be,
a
yeah, or maybe
female.
before puberty, I don't know. Like this is really like for me, I know that if I were to ever do competitive sports, I would do it against the boys. Honestly, I don't want controversy. That's why I would just do it against the guys.
But difficult lah. Either way, right? To me, like I mean, in this situation where there is a percentage of people who go through like changes and whatnot, right? Like, and then you go and do competitive sports, right? I mean, now we're obviously trying to fight for the best of both worlds, right? Where you have the freedom to do anything, be who you want to be, and then we fight for this inclusivity and being able to compete. But I don't know. I question how important it is to compete. Like how important is that over the other one, which is your life, your whole life, right? Yeah.
I think it's important to separate the two. I think, like at least for me, I feel like this Leah Thomas case was unfair, but I am fully accepting of transgender in general, right? I think what happens is that in the debate, people like to group the two together and be like, you think it's unfair, then why are you against transgender when it's that's not the discussion at all.
Like honestly, like being a transgender person myself, I also personally would say that it would be unfair for me to compete in a women's category. You know, like so it's like I don't think that the two have to be the same. You can be accepting of transgender people and also think that maybe you shouldn't like, you know, compete against biological women.
No, but that's for you because this is not your career, ma. For some people, they gear up their whole life for this career, but they also, like you, identify with the opposite gender. So then for them, it's like, then my life has no purpose, ma.
Like so, I think when you say
So
that,
it's a choice for them. You choose.
no, but why do I have to choose one over the other when everyone else does not?
Actually, that is
how
something
many
that's very
people?
true.
I think you can count how many people are in that situation.
Very
One so far, two.
Which with the trend now, it's just the world's not very utilitarian long. It feels like 99% of the world it has to bend to the will of 1%.
This is really like those like you're describing an extreme circumstance that will 99.999% won't happen to anybody one. But then we need to factor for it. Right?
Like, for example, none of us are Olympic athletes either. Like them vested in fair sports or.
But I think where we were going with that conversation also is that maybe there is a way to make sure that some transgender sports people are included. So it may be about increasing the transition period. Instead of 3 years, for example, on hormone therapy, maybe it has to be more than half of your life right now.
Make it more of like when did you start it?
Yeah,
maybe I don't know because I also don't know how hormones might affect different people.
It just needs to be
different genetics, different.
It just needs to be enforceable, it just needs to be clear cut enough. So, say for example, you have been transitioning for more than half of your life, and you're 20 now, so it has to be over 10 years.
And then a lot of math stuff comes out, like mathematical stuff comes out. Then like maybe then if they have a definitive rule, and you can pass that rule, then maybe you can.
Actually, to your point though, that it might be very difficult to have let's say a trans competition because the pool is really small.
It's very small.
It's probably the same conversation about Paralympics. It's like how many disabled people want to compete in sports at the highest level.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And then it turned out. So maybe it's about a question of time also.
Like but one thing can I just say or not? Like this might ruffle some feathers but people have more sympathy for disabled people than transgender people.
It's true.
So they are willing to put in
because
more
I also think that there are really cases where people identify as a opposite gender and it really turned out to be a face for them, and so many people latch on to those people.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean this one don't get angry. The term is like transgenders. Like it's a term. Like I heard about this term. It's like they think they are on TikTok, and then they think it's cool. You know, like how they also sound like mental illness, all this kind of shit, and then they.
It's true.
Sorry, I'm just being real.
What's quite interesting is, I think it's somewhere in there. So like, Caitlyn Jenner was an Olympian, right?
No way of what?
Bruce Jenner was
what category?
Track and field, I think.
He was a decathlon athlete. So he actually won the
wait.
decathlon.
Dan knows the answer to why the Kardashians are famous. Let's go.
Because they are connected to the Hilton family.
No.
Because of the porn thing.
Just say lah.
Their dad is Robert Kardashian, O.J. Simpson's lawyer, and he was the O.J. Simpson case was the most televised legal case in the world.
No, but that's not what I know them for though. So
No, but that's how they became famous. And then
Right.
after that, they did their own show.
That is just keeping up the Kardashians lah.
So Decathlon, I believe it's 10 sports because that decade. They have to be good at all those 10 sports because they collect points for all of those things. So it's like, I don't know how many different running, and then it's like long jump, high jump, pole vault, whatever.
Oh, so that's the decathlon.
And they have to be
I
good
thought
at all those
decathlon
10
was
things.
just a
Not like
sport.
Usain Bolt is like damn good at like what?
So
two
there's-
distances. Okay, like, he's damn good lah.
100 meters, long jump, short put, high jump, 400 meters, 110 meters hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and 1.5k run.
Get this right. So Michael Phelps right gets to compete in so many different distances and win maybe 8 medals per Olympics. These guys specialize in 10 different sports and only get a chance to win 1 medal.
No lah, but had they gone for the short put one, then they probably would have lost.
Yeah, so they're lousy on all those things.
So Jack all
Yeah.
trades master
Correct.
Nana.
So they basically just got stamina lah.
They're also comment down below.
So today's episode is brought to you by Clumsy Plumsy. It is a sour plum vodka drink. Okay, it's a Singapore product. It's made in Singapore. They deliver island wide, and it's great for all occasions. Like you can have it straight up on the rocks. You can turn it into a cocktail.
And if you're having friends over, they also have bundle promos for 3 bottles, 5 bottles. And the best part is that there's 10% off if you quote TDK10. So, and there's no minimum spend actually.
Hell yeah.
So, click down below. Okay, thank you for watching this episode, everybody.
you.
We have a lot more questions, so we're actually splitting this episode into 2. So, come back for part 2, everybody.
And part 2, part 2 is always better.
The weirder half. The weirder half.
Ah.
Okay, see you there. Why?
What was that?
Can you guys do the armpit thing?
I cannot.
Okay, do the island dancing.
I got no fats. Look at me. I'm like just skin and bone. How
Can spin.